Hey guys, it's Archon. Welcome to Inferno Friday. Today I want to talk to you guys about this long blue post from Travis Day. I want to tell you about my trip to Gazillion headquarters in San Francisco, and then of course we'll have our weekly item giveaway. So first things first, recently there was a post made on the Diablo 3 forums by one Gosu. And sorry, I said post, I meant book. He posted like a novel on the forums, very long post with a lot of good stuff, and it's just pretty much how he thinks Diablo 3 should change. It's called The Salvation of Diablo 3, and he's just saying these are the changes we should make to Diablo 3 to make it a better game. And there's some good stuff. I agree with a lot of it. Some things I would do differently, or I would explain differently. But overall, good post. If you want to read the whole thing, set a day aside, and then you can read it. But anyways, there was a blue post in response to it, and it's also fairly long, at least for a blue post, and it's pretty good, I think. It's been written by Travis Day, who's not really active on the forums usually, but it looks like he's one of the devs, and there's some good stuff in here. So I read through this yesterday on my live stream, and I'm pretty excited about it. It's broken down into sections, and I think you guys should read it too, so I'll put a post in the description, but I'll just give you some of my thoughts throughout. He talks about challenge. The original post said that challenge is more than just players being able to do enough damage to kill mobs. It's not just about health and damage. You can put challenge in the game that can't be outgeared, which is something that I've said a lot. We need strategies that have to be followed. We can't have things that if you just have enough gear, it's a face roll. Like, we need to put challenge in there, regardless of your gear level. Uh, Items and AH. Really good stuff in here. Pretty much just talking about how the affixes on items, it's obvious what you want on each item. There's not really many choices to be made when you're picking the affixes on the item. There's always a set range of affixes which are the best for that item, and you just want to get as many of those as possible. He says it really well in this sentence here. He says, when a perfect pair of gloves is core stat, vit, all res, crit chance, crit damage, and attack speed, and you can't even imagine another stat that you would want instead of one of those, we have a bigger problem. And it's a really good point. On a pair of gloves, those are the only stats you want. So you're pretty much just trying to get as many of those 6 stats onto a pair of gloves as possible, and you're trying to get them to roll as high as possible, which means that there's no choices being made as far as what affixes you want on each piece, and so really good to hear that they're looking to adding more. Like they say right here, he says if gloves also had the ability to roll plus percent school damage, life on hits, skill specific affixes, plus a couple more things you want, then players may find themselves in a situation where trifecta isn't as clearly defined anymore. And so that's cool to hear that that's something that they're working on. I think that if they made it so that all affixes were useful, all affixes were equally good, just for different types of players or different builds, then it would make finding items and building your character a lot more fun. So that was cool to hear. It goes down to character customization. The response that he was giving in character customization was to the original poster saying that there should be something like a skill system, which I agree, there should be something like a skill system, not necessarily a skill system. I was kind of upset with his response, but then it gets better. At first, he says that the old skill system was fun back in the day, but I think it's honestly dated in today's landscape. And the reason he gives is that new players might spec wrong and then have to re-roll their character and start all over, which isn't really a good excuse. I mean, a lot of games have skill trees now, and almost all of them just allow respecs, and that completely solves the problem. So I didn't like how he acted like there's no solution to that problem. We can't have a skill tree because then players are going to have to re-roll their character. I wish he'd at least mentioned the idea of a respec, because I think anyone reading this for the first time is gonna. I mean, I just mentioned it on my channel, and everyone like, yeah, of course, a respec. But then he goes on to say that they do want to offer permanent customization to your character. He says one of the ways we're doing that is we're allowing you to customize your gear, which is cool, but that's a totally different topic of conversation. We're talking about having some kind of investment in your character's skills and abilities and having some personalization to how your character plays. But he says that that is also something that they're looking to introduce in the future. So that's good to hear. They've mentioned before that they wanted something similar to permanent character customization. And it looks like they're still planning on that, so that's cool. I mentioned so there's too many items, so they want to make it so there's less items dropping, but they're better quality. Legendary set items, he says, he covers in another post, but he did say that they want legendaries and set items to feel game changing, and he gave an example of boots that would make you ethereal. In other words, you'd be able to just walk through enemies. So I'm not sure how that would affect gameplay. I'm sure people would come up with builds where you could do stuff like that. But it was just one example of legendaries that could be really game changing. So I was really excited to hear that. I think they should definitely do that as long as the drop rate isn't so high that anyone who wants them can just go grab them on the AH. Because having something like the ability to walk through enemies would be really cool to like show off. Like, hey guys, check out these boots I got. I'm just walking through monsters. But if it was like, oh cool, that's nice. I'm gonna go on the auction house and pay 5 million, and then I'll walk through monsters too. Hey, we all walk through monsters. It just completely ruins it. So hopefully they do something where it's not just anyone can have it as long as they have a couple million gold. But we'll find out as that develops, I'm sure. Finding your own gear. He didn't go too much into detail here. He talks about crafting, and he just mentions that they're still working on ways that you're finding more of your own gear, which I think a lot of you guys know is one of my biggest gripes. Is all the progression right now is on the auction house, so it's always cool to hear blue posters mention that they want to fix that. They want people to find their own gear, which of course is, I think, the real fun of action RPGs. Skill diversity, they say they need to balance skills more so that everyone's not using the same skills. He says everyone just uses the most powerful skills there are, and the original poster has responded to that and said, well, there shouldn't be the most powerful skills. All skills should be equally viable in certain situations, and of course that would be ideal. So hopefully they're going to balance it in that way. Social features, he says that they're making more changes to social to encourage people to play together, but mostly just talks about changes they've already made in the past. So it's a pretty good blue post. You can read over it. You can read the original posters if you want a really long post to read, but there's some interesting stuff. And then there's also this post by the original poster where he just responds to everything the blue poster said. And Gosu gets a little upset because sometimes the blue poster isn't talking at exactly what Gosu had said. I don't know if this is because Travis Day wasn't able to read the entire book that Gosu wrote, or if Travis Day, in my opinion, I think was just responding to the masses of ideas that are similar to Gosu's, not necessarily specifically to his post. But either way, lots of good reads if you enjoy hearing stuff like that. And they've also said, Grimmiku just announced that there's going to be another Ask the Devs in March, and it's going to be all about itemization. So I'm sorry, I'm not on that page right now. But Grimmiku was actually in my channel the other day. He hung out with us for a couple hours, which was really cool, and he's the one that told me about this Travis Day post. So thank you, Grimmiku. Thanks for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. So that was all about that. I just want to quickly tell you about my trip to San Francisco. As a lot of you guys know, 2 days ago, Thursday, I went to Gazillion headquarters in San Francisco. Gazillion is the company that's making Marvel Heroes. It's David Brevik, who's the creator of Diablo II, that's creating Marvel Heroes as well. So it was really cool. We got to just hang out there all day and talk with some of the devs and interview a lot of people, including David Brevik. And so we streamed some of it, but we didn't know about it ahead of time, so it was kind of spur of the moment. So I will post links to those interviews. If you missed the stream and you want to see the people we interviewed at Gazillion, there'll be links in the description. I believe they're just Twitch links right now. I might post them on YouTube later. So yeah, it was pretty cool. We had a lot of lagginess in the stream, a lot of issues, but the audio is great. So if you just want if you want to listen to Gazillion employees talking about Marvel Heroes while you're doing something else, you could leave that on, and because the video is kind of laggy. But if you haven't heard about Marvel Heroes, look it up, marvelheroes.com. Again, it's an action RPG made by the creator of Diablo 2, and it looks really solid. We're super excited about it. We're going to be playing a lot on the streams, but it was really exciting to be a Gazillion because the devs are they're so excited about the game, and they're really listening to player feedback. They're really letting the players be involved in the process of creating the game. And me and Inigo, we're the two that went down there, Inigo Montoya from Twitch, were able to just talk with them, throw out ideas, and they were really listening. And I think they really understand what makes a game fun and what you need to make just a solid, addicting action RPG. So I'm even more excited about the game now after going there. And again, you can watch those interviews. They're kind of long, but might be something fun to have on while you're doing other things. So they'll be in the description. Two quick shout outs before we do our weekly item giveaway. Icy Winds made the new background on my channel. It's not the right dimensions right now, so it looks really goofy, but it's good looking, and I just need to figure out how to fix it. Maybe I need to blow it up or get a new version. I'm not sure. But thank you, Icy Winds. It looks awesome, and it's going to look even more awesome when we get it working right. And then Tunes from the Twitch stream made some thumbnails for me. You can see one of them on the new CM guide, and so they look awesome, Tunes. Thank you so much. I need to apply the rest of them. But yeah, you guys are awesome. So we're going to do our weekly item giveaway now. First up, the winner of last week's giveaway, if I can pull this up, is Nate Gray. Congratulations, Nate Gray wanted these in his pants. And you got them, man. So if you win an item on here, all you need to do is come on over to twitch.tv, either type to me on the stream chat, or probably better yet, send me a message. Let me know you are the YouTube winner, and then I'll just have you prove it's you on YouTube and bring you into a game and get you the item as soon as I can. So his inner pants are out, but we have a new piece to replace them. I'm going to show you the 5 items we have this week. If one of them is an upgrade for you or something you'd like, go ahead and leave a comment below. Let me know which piece you'd like. I'll randomly pick one comment, and that person will get the item that they asked for. Excuse me. So the new piece we have to replace those Innis pants is this Innis Vast Expanse. It's great for a Fire Res Monk. 185 Dex, 95 Vite, 41 Fire Res. Pretty solid Innis chest there. We have these Black Thorns pants with high Vitality, 171. Good life on hit, 431, 11% life, and 318 bonus armor. Pretty solid Black Thorns pants. We have this Deadman's Legacy with good Dex and Vite, 19% attack speed, 6 max discipline, and 7% to elemental arrow damage. Really solid Deadman's Legacy. Boulder Breaker with over 1500 damage, 161 crit hit damage, and reduced the cost of Hammer of the Ancients by 3 Fury. Pretty solid Boulder Breaker there. Got a Thing of the Deep with level requirement reduced by 10, high average damage, max crit chance, good for a Witch Doctor. So again, just leave a comment if you want one of those items. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I just want to tell you guys, we're doing a EU versus US farming competition probably right now. It's going to start like an hour from me making this video right now. So if you're watching the video, it's probably already started. Come by the live stream. There's a link in the description. Check out. It's going to be Moldrin, Avoid, and Invis versus me, Dat-Mods, and Smashing Melons. Should be a lot of fun. It's going to be going on 8 hours. So pretty much most of the day today, which is Saturday. So thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully I'll see you on the live stream. I'll have another video for you soon. Subscribe if you enjoyed this one, and I'll talk to you guys later.